And I want to continue this breakdown of the 5 keys to filling your medical practice with paying patients. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk to you specifically today. I'm going to go actually over the first 2 keys. Okay, so just to kind of give you a review, there are 5 keys, and in the first video, I broke those down, but let me go over them again. The first key is a crystal clear offer, which I'm going to dive into detail today. The second one is key number 2 is the one thing. So I'm actually going to combine keys number 1 and 2 together today because they really kind of go hand in hand. Key number 3 is the vitals. I will post a video for that here just shortly after this. Key number 4, by the way, is the power of monthly recurring revenue, or as we like to call it, MRR. And then the last one is the lifetime value of a patient. So when we understand these 5 keys, you'll notice here with these 5 keys, I'm not talking about running Facebook ads or YouTube videos or anything like that, or social media calendars, because these are the foundation, the keys for you to be able to have a successful practice where you are full with patients who want to pay you each and every single month. Okay, so let's go into this. Let's talk about this first key. Okay, and the first key is what I call a crystal clear offer. Okay, so you'll see it here. I like to type these things out, the crystal clear offer, or you'll see it on your screen here right now. And the crystal clear offer is exactly that. Most doctors don't have, most businesses for that part, let me just pull this over here. Most businesses don't have a crystal clear offer. What they have is they have kind of this really strange, ambiguous kind of thing, and I'm not really sure what the heck it is. But let me clarify what this is. It isn't a promotion. It isn't special pricing. It isn't a one-time discount. It's much simpler than that. A crystal clear offer is, what will your patient be able to do now that they couldn't do before you treated them? Okay. What is it that your patient will be able to do now that you couldn't do before you treated them? All right. Here's another way I want you to take a look at this. Okay. I want you to think about it this way. I want you to think of it. In fact, I'm going to type this out, and I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to call it the bleeding neck syndrome. Okay. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and show this. Okay. So we want to talk about the bleeding neck syndrome. Now, I want you to think about a bleeding neck. If you have a bleeding neck, I want you to think about this. If you have a bleeding neck, oh, my neck's bleeding, right? That's a pretty serious thing. There's a lot of veins, arteries, a lot of important things that go up and down this canal. You're going to fix that right away. If I have a skinned knee or a skinned hand or something like that, probably can't really see that. I skinned my hand the other day. You're not going to go to the ER. Basically, I can take care of this in my house. I got a little first aid kit, put a little cleaning on it, put some Band-Aids on it, clean it, I'm good, right? I can go about my day. If I got a bleeding neck, I am going to go and fix that immediately. So when it comes down to having your crystal clear offer, you have to make sure that you are offering the solution to the bleeding neck, okay? Because if you're trying to sell out of you have to sell out of what's called their desperation, okay? They have to be desperate to fix their problem. If they're not desperate to fix their problem, they're not going to come see you. I don't care how great you are. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how many certifications you have. I don't care how great your machine is. They have to be living in a place of desperation. And without that desperation versus aspiration, most people, what they're doing is they're selling to aspiration. Wouldn't it be great if? Desperation is, oh my God, I need to fix this, right? If you have a bleeding neck, you are going to rearrange your schedule and you are going to fix it, okay? And aspiration is like, wouldn't it be great too, okay? So you have to be able to fix what we call the bleeding neck syndrome. And the way so when you're creating this offer, okay, first and foremost, you have to understand your market. The second thing is you need to create a message to that market. And the last thing is then you're going to create the offer. So you don't get the offer until you understand the market, and then you get the message, and then because you understand the bleeding neck, and then you create the offer. So let me give you an example of a great way to do this. So and I always go back to owning the erectile dysfunction clinics. As you know, I owned 3 of them, and I also own now a female-oriented clinic that we deal with female sexual health. But let's just talk about men because it's one of the great examples. So when a man has erectile dysfunction, what's his normal process? He's going to go online. He's going to buy pills. He'll get some potions. He'll go to GNC. He might buy a pump. He'll go see his doctor. Maybe he'll watch some porn. So we used to call it pills, potions, pumps, and porn. Okay, the 4 Ps. And after those didn't work, then they came to see us. The patient who had been through the protocol of failing in numerous different places with pills, potions, pumps, and porn was an infinitely better patient for us and an infinitely better customer than the one who had not. In fact, one of our questions was, what else have you tried? And the guy said nothing. We basically sent him on his way. We didn't even try to treat him because he was not going to be a good fit for us. Okay. So they have to have the bleeding neck. They have to it's better if they have failed for 2 years than it is they just weren't able to perform this weekend and are curious. Okay. The curious patient is not the best patient. I want the patient who has failed numerous times and now is desperate for a solution. Okay. So we do always targeted men over the age of 45 or 50. We had a very clear message about fixing your ED, especially if you had failed for 2 years. And our offer was come in, meet with the doctor, get a test dose. If you don't see results in the office, there is no cost for the visit. We guarantee it. Okay. So here are some other types of crystal clear offers. Okay. So let's just type some of these up. Okay. So here's one, and that is no more painful sex. Okay. That is to deal with what we call vaginal dryness. Okay. So a patient that comes in that is dealing with painful sex, most likely that female is dealing with vaginal dryness. That's one of the things that we utilize in our female practice. Okay. Another one is, type this out for you, is stop wearing, can't type, embarrassing pads and liners. Okay. So let me get the spell correct. There we go. So I'm going to show that to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look, and that is stop wearing embarrassing pads and liners. That's for the female that has female urinary incontinence. Okay, so we want to be able to take care of them. That's something that they know about. That is a very clear message. And then the offer is come into the clinic, meet with our doctor, free consultation, that kind of stuff. Okay, so my crystal clear offer is driven out of their pain. Okay, what is their bleeding neck? All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing that I really want you to understand is the second key is what is the one thing you do better than anybody else. Okay. This is not what is the 28 things that you do. This is about the one thing that you do better than anybody else. Okay. So let me explain this, and I'll explain it to you with regards to a restaurant. Now I live in North Carolina. I'm a Yankee. I'm a damn Yankee. I came south and I stayed. And very early on, I learned the beauty of the barbecue joint, the North Carolina barbecue joint. Now, North Carolina barbecue is pork barbecue. It's not beef barbecue. And I can take you all around this great state, and I've found all kinds of great local hole-in-the-walls barbecue joints. And barbecue joints are great at one thing. Guess what? Pork barbecue. That's what they do. That's it. There's no beef barbecue. There's no chicken barbecue. Well, some of them have chicken barbecue. But that's it. They make great pork barbecue. They were known for one thing. Now, they might also have great cobbler, or they might also have great mac and cheese, but they have a thing that they do better than anybody else. I have a lot of friends of mine that are Greek. I grew up in Chicago. There's a lot of Greek diners in Chicago. And you go to the Greek diner, and that menu is massive, right? And so they have 4,500 different things, it seems like, that you can order. It's very confusing. Well, it's the same thing for your patient. I want you to be known for one thing that you do better than anybody else. In our erectile dysfunction clinics, we were known for one thing, fixing your ED. Now, that had a lot of different things. It could be that you have venous leakage. It could be that you have Peyronie's. It could be that you had prostate cancer and the nerve was touched or injured, and you haven't been able to get an erection for 5 years. So we were known for that one thing. Now, we had other things that we did. We did hormone replacement therapy. We did Peyronie's, but we always led with the one thing, because that's what got him in the room. That's what got him in the door. So what's your one thing? I want you to think about this from a barbecue joint perspective. Don't be like the Greek diner, where when you go to their site, you can go to their menu and they do like 14 different things. That's incredibly confusing to your prospect. And I know what some of you are probably going to say. You're going to say, oh, but Matt, my patients love that, and that's how they know about it. It's a bad mistake. I'm telling you, based on my experiences of running these clinics, and also I've been doing this for 20 plus years in numerous different niches, you've got to have something that when the patient thinks of you, they think of that. So if you're working with women, and you want to focus on stress urinary incontinence, then be the absolute best at stress urinary incontinence. If it's about female hormone replacement therapy, then be the absolute best that deals with female hormone replacement therapy. But don't go out with 10 different messages, okay? And I'm going to end with this. This is why this is so brutally important, because of this very simple thing, is that when it comes to your advertising dollars, you have a limited amount. And you want to be able to put, as Andrew Carnegie once said, it's okay to put all your eggs in one basket. Just watch the basket. Well, you can lead with urinary incontinence, female urinary incontinence, very easily. And you can take, let's say you have $10,000 or $15,000 that you're spending monthly in your advertising. You want to be able to take that money and put it all. Don't try to take a portion of it and siphon it off and focus on something else. Put all your energy towards that thing that you know is going to make you money, that people want. They have a bleeding neck. They want to fix it. They have a lot of emotional pain about it. It is not an aspiration. It is a desperation that they fix it. Put your money for marketing into that. Now, when they come in, they can buy all these other things from you, but make that the one thing that you're known for. Okay. So that's the last thing, is the one thing. There you go. All right. So those are the first two keys. In the next coming days, I'll be going over the next three keys: the vitals, the monthly recurring revenue, and the lifetime value of a patient. Until then, post your comments below, and I look forward to talking to you again. You can always book an appointment with me to talk with me one-on-one to talk about your practice and how this applies specifically to your practice. There's always links in the emails that these go out in. So if that's what you'd like to do, I'd love to talk with you. And until we talk and until we meet again, have a great day. Thank you.